talk about being named a captain.
It's an awesome honor. I'm happy that my teammates picked me and ready to go, ready to lead this team.
Were you at all surprised?
I was surprised, definitely, because it's a lot of great people. Definitely Dyson Romine, Tago Smith. So I didn't know I was going to get it. So it's a great honor.
What do you think is the reason that your teammates picked you?
Definitely, I think it's because of how I am on the field. I'm high energy and don't drop the standard, and I can hold everybody accountable. So I've been pretty consistent over the last 3 years. So I think that's why.
So how do things change? I mean, it's a major responsibility to lead this team. And Coach talked last year that he thought part of the reason why the team had such a great season was the leadership was impeccable. Talk about the responsibility on your shoulders and how you approach it.
Definitely, responsibility. I think we, over the 3 years, we learned how this team is supposed to be run through our senior leadership. From Darius Staten from my freshman year, we know the standard, and once we get to this point, we should already know what's going on. So it's kind of easy to step in that role.
From past captains that you've been here with, learned anything from Keenan or Noah before him? You learned some things from
definitely from Keenan and Bernie. They just say if you see something wrong, address it right then and there, and just don't let it brush by, because that's when problems start to happen. So you see some, address it right then and there.
What as far the last year the guys came up with the "Want to Know" slogan. Do you and Daniel think you need to come up with a slogan, or do you? I mean, you can't beat Keenan and Bernie.
No, I Want to Know was great. That was great, and it just exemplifies everything that we work for every day. And our slogan is "We will," and we will. As far as taking care of one play at a time, it feeds into that. So we will do everything in our power to be successful during the season.
What the coach had mentioned to me when we met with him a few weeks ago that you all had already done some things like naming position group captains or something. Can you explain that to me?
Definitely. Well, there's one position captain from each position group, and they pretty much is just the voice. Whatever we put out or whatever we can't say to the team, we just push it out them, and it's their responsibility to relay that message to the team and just hold everybody accountable. So that's pretty much just each position group has a captain.
So are you and Daniel going to meet regularly to discuss things, or kind of as you go forward with this, how do you and he work together?
We definitely talk. I run to his room. I know he's on the other side of Bancroft, but I walk to his room all the time. We talk and see what we can do better, and we get the position captains and the rest of the seniors together to talk about what we can do to move in the right direction.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Toneo.
All right, thank you.
Tell me the honor of being named a captain. What do you think?
It's one of the biggest honors I could think of. I mean, coming into the school, it's surrounded by leaders, it's filled with leaders, and to be given the honor of leading 40-some great leaders is just an amazing feeling.
Were you surprised when you found out that you were the man?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I know, something I've worked for, tried to display my leadership as best I could, but yeah, I remember Coach Niemann was giving us the speech of who was going to be the team captain. My heart was racing. I wasn't quite sure, but I mean, it was a great feeling to know that I got it.
Why do you think you were selected? What do you think your teammates saw in you that led them to vote for you?
I mean, I don't really like to talk about myself, but I think if anything, it would be just my heart, determination. I don't like to back down. I'm a very competitive person, and that's kind of what I've been trying to instill in the rest of these guys, the younger guys. I mean, just the competitiveness. And I think people can see that, just how competitive I am, my competitive nature, and feed off of that.
So Coach was funny when he was talking at the banquet. He said that Bernie said, "Anybody got a problem with me, meet me at the gate." He just called him Bernie, meet me at the gate, Sarah. Are you going to be at all that way, or can you're not Bernie, I know, but you feel like you got to...
I think I'm going to be more of in your face. I don't know if you saw today, there's a guy who's struggling to keep up. I mean, he's a little tired, but I mean, that's something we can't have. That's not acceptable when we play Navy football. I mean, we got to be the toughest, the most in shape, and just have the most heart out of anyone out here. So I think setting that standard is going to be my goal, and I know Toneo's doing that as well.
No, and on the surface, it doesn't seem like you or Toneo are either the most talkative guys, but do you feel like is that something you consciously have to think about, you and Toneo, that you are now the voice of this team and you got to speak up first because you're the captain?
Exactly, yeah. coming into this, I knew it was a big role I was going to step into, and I actually had to talk finally, because I normally am very quiet. I like to lead by just my actions.
Right.
But putting myself in this role, I think, is not only great football-wise, but actually as becoming a man for myself. I think it's perfect, because I'm actually going to have to talk, give interviews, like interact with people.
Right. You're a spokesman
lead.
for the team in a lot of ways.
Exactly. Be a spokesman for the team, and one that's positive as well as demanding of the standard we're setting here.
Any previous captains that, while your time here, that you've learned from? I know Bernie last year, and some of the guys from years before, like a Parrish Gaines.
Yeah, I mean, you can't beat Keenan and Bernie, but I think Cody Peterson is one I looked at. Just he's one that didn't really talk as much, but his actions spoke louder than words. Like, he was someone that I would go into battle with. I think the saying is I'd go into battle with a spoon with him. And he's someone that I just every day he came to work, and you could see it on him.
Right. And you want to try to be similar to that?
Exactly, yeah.
All right, thanks, Daniel. Good. Daniel Gonzales being named a team captain, did that surprise you?
No.
Why?
He's had a nice career so far. He's a great leader. I would have been surprised had he not been elected captain.
Really?
Yeah.
I've interviewed him in the past. He doesn't seem like the most talkative guy, but in the role of captain, you do have to speak up. But it is, maybe I'm reading him wrong. How would you describe Daniel?
Well, he's not a rah-rah guy, but he's a vocal leader when he needs to be. And he's more of a lead by example. But he's a tremendous choice, great choice.
Well, so he just mentioned that he is thinking more along the lines that I have to speak up a little more than maybe I would normally.
Right.
Said he got in a kid's face today because he was doing something that was just not acceptable. That's something you see in him, the take charge attitude.
Oh yeah, he'll do that. He'll do a great job.
Right,
no doubt.
All right, thanks. Toneo Gulley gets named a captain. Is that something that surprised you?
No, he's always been a leader. I think the kids respect him. They like him. He works hard. Tries to do right. Does good in the hall. Busts his butt out here. So I wasn't surprised when I thought we had some good candidates, but it didn't shock me that they voted him the captain.
How would you describe Toneo?
Tough kid, hard worker. Wants to be good. Wants to be good at everything. Wants to be a good midshipman. He wants to be a good player. So he's since he came here day one, he likes to win. He likes to compete. Got a lot of energy, a lot of passion, a lot of fire about him. That's what I like about him.
I've interviewed him in the past, and he didn't strike me as the most talkative guy. But interviewing him just now, he actually does seem to talk pretty well. I mean,
he must have had you fooled before.
He likes to talk.
He loves to talk.
Okay.
He's a talker.
Right.
Yeah, and the kids know he's a talker, but in a good way. He doesn't run his mouth. He doesn't talk smack. He just likes to talk. Likes to encourage people, and get after people when they need it, and pat them on the back when they need it too. He's a good teacher. Good, helps me out here a lot. As the other guys, Dyson and Calvin, the older guys in the group, they do a really good job of leading and mentoring the young guys like they were mentored too when they were freshmen and sophomores. So just got to keep passing it along, and they're passing it to this junior class and the sophomore class that hopefully they'll instill the same work ethic in them, and when they're seniors, they can keep passing this thing along, but got to keep it rolling.
Well, it's a sense that when you're named captain, it suddenly puts a new responsibility on you. It kind of changes you in a way. You have to. You're the captain. I know it's been early in the process, but in meetings and dealing with Toneo, have you started to see a new sense of responsibility that comes with being the captain?
Not really, maybe, but I mean the success of the whole team doesn't revolve around how good him and Gonzo get up in front and talk to the team. I mean, if that's what we're waiting on, that's crazy. It's a collective effort. It's all the seniors bonding together and saying this is what we're going to do, and the juniors and the sophomores and freshmen and everybody, going the same direction. I know sometimes I think he feels a lot of added pressure, not necessarily Toneo or just the captains in general, since I've been here, feel a lot of responsibility and all that. But I mean, the truth is, everybody's responsible. I'm responsible, for my position, and all the players in my position are responsible for themselves. And Toneo can't watch what all everybody on the team is doing every time they go over into the hall. They got to take care of themselves, And I think sometimes when you get a team that has to have a rah-rah speech every day to get motivated, or to do their homework or to do their stuff, then it's not. If you're waiting on somebody else to motivate you, you're waiting. It's too late. But,
all right.
you know, it shouldn't be any added pressure or stress on him. He just got to keep working, leading by example. I mean, Tygo's got to be a leader on the team. I mean, you go down the list, all the kids that have played, they got to be leaders on the team. It's not just one guy's got to lead the offense and one guy's got to lead the defense. It's got to be, hopefully, 11 starters, the 11 behind them, the 11, you know, pushing them in practice and that kind of stuff. So that's the only way to keep it going.
So last I was thinking on the way down here, Reggie Campbell's the last slot back captain, right?
I didn't know that.
You have any others?
Yeah.
Can you think of any others? So
Not since Reggie.
is there any
Really?
is
I
there
didn't
any
know that.
pride in your position group delivering a captain?
I
Or
hadn't thought
producing
about
a captain?
I hadn't thought about it, to be honest with you. It's pretty cool. I mean, but I honestly I hadn't thought about it. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, everybody. It's like I said. I mean, everybody's got to be. I look at other guys in our group as captains as well too. You know, I mean, seniors that have played a lot, Dyson and Calvin and those guys, and Tygo, and you know the whole senior class. I mean, I don't put Toneo on a different pedestal now that he's been voted that. I think they all got to aspire to lead and to motivate and do the best they can do and bring 4 or 5 guys along with them. You know, and they'll bring some more and then kind of get the thing going in the right direction.
All right, thanks.